What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. The U.S. is headed towards the largest strike ever. UPS, hundreds of thousands of workers potentially going to be out of their jobs here in just a matter of days. Yeah, this comes as the U.S. Chamber of Commerce coalition calls on the White House to intervene in the UPS strike. So the Chamber of Commerce calling on President Biden to intervene like he did in the potential railroad strike. However, the Teamsters is asking the White House not to intervene if the UPS workers strike. So this is a little bit of a problem because on one hand, you have one side saying, please, White House, intervene. On the other hand, you have saying, no, don't intervene. We're going to strike if they don't meet our demands. On the other hand, you have the UPS saying that UPS has dug in their heels, that the Teamsters and the UPS strike plans emerge. This could affect 30% of all parcels being shipped in the entire United States. This is enough to present a massive, massive shipping backlog. There won't be enough oversupply and enough shipping by, say, the United States Postal Service and places like FedEx to cover the, extra shipping. There will be a massive, massive shipping problem here. We also have UPS is trying to sweeten the deal to the Teamsters to prevent the strike. The question here is, will it be enough? This is, about a third of a million workers. So this is the largest strike ever, the largest strike ever in U.S. history. Yeah, the largest strike ever in 60 years. Well, this is number inflation related adjustments. So this is a pretty significant thing here. Yeah, UPS said it would return to the bargaining table with a better offer for roughly 340,000 workers in a bid to avert a potentially economically damaging strike for the whole country that would begin on August 1st. We are prepared to increase our industry leading pay and benefits. This is what they're saying. The workers are saying a completely different thing. They don't even get air conditioning in their trucks. Quote, but we need to work quickly to finalize a deal that provides certainty for our customers, our employees, and businesses across the country. The union said the world's largest delivery company contacted it on Wednesday with an offer to resume talks next week. But the International Brotherhood of Teamsters said in a statement on Twitter, UPS handles about 20 million packages per day. Those do include deliveries for Amazon.com as well, high value prescription drugs for hospitals and doctors, and inventory for millions of other large and small businesses. A strike like this could be one of the costliest in at least a century, with the impact of a 10-day strike topping over $7 billion. We also have another potential strike potentially looming, in this case, a government strike or a government shutdown, saying, quote, this will scare the hell out of you. Yeah. Senator Chris Coons, Democrat from Delaware, warned on Friday that a government shutdown appears likely as Congress faces a September deadline to pass its annual spending bills. We are going to scare the hell out of you, quote, Coons said at the Aspen Security Forum, alongside Senator John Cornyn, Republican from Texas, and James Risch, Republican from Idaho. We're really good at that. I don't know if this is a good thing, but this is apparently what they're saying. Is this are they bragging about this? Apparently they are. And this is one Democrat and one Republican What is wrong with these guys, right? Republican and Democrats, they're bragging that they're good at scaring the hell out of people. I don't know. Quote, on the debt ceiling, on default, we came right up to the end. We're going to have a government shutdown because we're going to fight between the House and the Senate about appropriations. Maybe I sure hope not, but we keep coming right up close. Lawmakers have until the end of September to pass the 12 annual appropriation bills to fund the government. But with August recess approaching, they are staring down a tight deadline already. And honestly, it's things like this. They can't even get annual budgets, government budgets done. How on earth are they ever going to fix Social Security and Medicaid? And this is why you hear the term they keep kicking the can down the road. And then, people wonder why don't they fix Social Security? They should have fixed it 5 years ago. They should have fixed it 10 years ago. They should have fixed it 15 years ago. They've known about this problem forever. And then you'll see comments like, "Oh, Jimmy, they got 9 more years to fix Social Security before it runs out of money." And I'm like, "Oh, no, that's exactly the wrong way of thinking. If they wait 9 more years, Social Security has officially run out of money. By then, the Social Security Trust Fund has gone to zero." And this is such a nightmare. This is such a nightmare. The Medicare Hospital Trust Fund is going to potentially run out of money in 5 years. 5 years. And this is like the constant problem with Congress is that it's a moving target, right? So like, oh, they're thinking about Social Security, they're thinking about Medicare, and then the next thing comes up on their plate. They got to fix this, they got to fix that. Oh, there's a potential war with Russia. There's a potential war with North Korea. There's a potential war with China. They have so many things that they're working on. Oh, we got to do the government budget every single year, which is an absolute joke. That should be like every 2 years, right? Why do they have to do it every single year? What a nightmare, right? And then it's just too much. It's just too much. And you have Republicans and Democrats that have completely different, things that they believe in. They have to compromise every single year. It's basically like let's play Russian roulette. Let's drive the cars at each other and see who will flinch at the last second. And the only losers are the American people. you know and what happens is things like Social Security, things like Medicare, they don't get fixed at all. Okay, they get pushed back, they get pushed back, they get pushed back. The other problem here is that um, nobody really wants to be seen as the person who fixes them. Okay, especially a president. Okay, a president like the current president. um, I mean, I guess maybe the best president to do it would be a president already on his second term because he doesn't have to be reelected, even though he'll probably be blamed. But that's an ideal, perfect situation here. But really, is that two groups, Republicans and Democrats, need to come together with a bipartisan solution and not blame each other. But again, this is in a perfect world. They need to fix Social Security. The three main ideas are raising the Social Security age. They've already done that once. That helped shore up the solvency of Social Security. Okay, the Reagan administration did that in the past. If they hadn't done that in the past, Social Security may already have run out of money. Okay, number two is raising the taxes on either only wealthy individuals that make over 250 or $400,000 per year, and they would pay into Social Security and not probably get any benefits at all. It's kind of a Robin Hood type of theory. Pay into Social Security, but don't get any benefits. Whether that's fair or not, you guys can let me know your thoughts. Of course, the 90 some percent of people who don't have to pay into it or don't pay the taxes but get the benefits are probably going to say, "Hey, that's fair for us. We don't care about them." But taxation without representation is kind of how America was built. Um, you get the thoughts here, right? Or that's why we separated from the English, right? Because we didn't want that. So let me know your thoughts on this. The other taxation part about this is that everybody that's paying into the Social Security system right now, the working people, would pay a little bit more taxes. This is another thing that they've proposed here. Raise the taxes on everybody that's working by a little bit. What the numbers would be, we don't know yet. Okay. Um, or the other thing that a lot of Republicans have pitched is to invest the Social Security money or a portion of the Social Security money into the market, the stock and bond markets, because historically, over the course of time, I'll show you here. The stock. This is the stock market, the Dow Jones Index. The stock market, typically averages around 9% a year, and right now the Social Security Trust Fund is invested in U.S. Treasuries, which maybe makes about half of that over the course of time. Here's a 1-year chart. The Dow Jones started the year at 31,900. Now it's at 35,000 again. So it's up pretty significantly. That's actually over 10% because 10% of 35,000 would be 3,500, and that's about what it's up at the beginning of the year. It started at 31,900. It's up about 3,500 since then. So the stock market's actually up 10% this year, despite everybody thinking the sky's going to fall. The stock market's always forward looking. It's looking to the future. Okay. So despite the drops and stuff, it's up 10%. And despite last year's drop, it has all recovered. Here's a 5-year chart. 5 years ago, the stock market or the Dow Jones Index was at 25,000-ish. Now it's at 35,000-ish. That's a gain of, I don't know, what is it, 40% or something like that? You can get a calculator out and do the math. But if you just held on for 5 years, you would have had a 40% gain. You can't get those kind of returns in US Treasuries. This includes the massive drop in 2020 from C19, from the virus. As you can see, it recovered, it came back. We've recouped all of our losses. It's a little bit of a bumpy road, or a lot of a bumpy road along the way, but it recovered. If you have a nicely blended stock and bond portfolio, again, this is just a stock portfolio, but you can see this is a 5-year chart. It went from 25,000 to 35,000 in the course of 5 years. Time in the market is better than timing the market. You just got to hold on along the road. Just let it sit there and just know that over the course of time, it's probably going to come back. Okay. And a maximum chart here over the course of 30 years. This is just what Yahoo Finance shows over a 30-year chart here. You can see that from 1992, 30 years ago, it was about 3,300, and now it's 35,000. So it's gone up over 10x, a 10x return. So this is why the third idea is to take some of the Social Security money and invest it into the stock and bond market, because over the course of time, even with the ups and downs, even with the C19 drop that we had from basically a pandemic, a global pandemic that shut down our entire country, even with that drop, something we had never seen before, our entire country shutting down. We had never seen that before. And basically, our entire economy closing down. Okay. We had never, ever, ever seen that before. The Really, the only time you could even see something like that would be going all the way back to the Great Depression. And things weren't nearly as bad this time around because we have a whole lot of, regulations and new things in there. They sent out stimulus this time around because we're just a lot smarter nowadays, and we have a lot more things in place nowadays, and we know that we don't want that to happen again. So when something like this happens nowadays, the government steps in and says, okay, we can't have that happen again. So when something crazy happens like this time around, and remember, that was during Trump. Okay, so you can't say, oh, it was Biden. We just have to print money and spend money. It was an economic collapse. It was a worldwide collapse. So we had to step in and do something to prevent a Great Depression. So the government stepped in, made sure that the Great Depression didn't happen. And here we are a couple years later, and really, it wasn't nearly as bad as it could have been. You've seen the stock market did recover, and it really didn't take that long. So the moral of the story here is that of these three options, they are there, but Congress has to do something, because if Congress doesn't do anything, if Republicans and Democrats don't agree here, and they don't choose any of the options, and another year rolls by, and next year's the election, then we get either Biden or Trump gets reelected, or somebody else gets reelected, which is the unlikely case at this point. Those are the two main front runners, and then another year rolls by, and another year rolls by, and then nobody gets reelected. Or I'm sorry, somebody gets reelected, but nobody, nobody reenacts a new plan to fix Social Security. This is kind of the problem. Years and years and years keep rolling by, like have been. The last 5 years roll by, the last 10 years roll by, and nothing was fixed with Social Security. The money is going to keep going down, 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 like it has for the last 5 years and the last 10 years. And now we have baby boomers retiring more and more each day, more and more each year. And that's just a larger percentage of the population that are now retiring instead of paying into the system. So now, even more so, we're losing more Social Security month by month, year by year, and it's going down now even faster. Social Security has been losing money in the trust fund for years. They've known this. It's not a new thing. But Congress has not been able to agree, and the presidents haven't wanted to take the fall for being the guy that, raised the retirement age, or, did whatever, make cuts to Social Security, like Reagan did. We still remember, was Reagan the bad guy to make cuts to it, or was he the good guy that saved it? Regardless, is that we need to do something, or else in 9 years, you could be looking at a 23% cut to your Social Security paychecks. Will I be talking to you here in 9 years saying, yeah, I remember talking to you guys 9, 10, 11 years ago saying they should have done something, and in case instead Republicans and Democrats kicked the can down the road for 10 more years, instead they left it alone. They left everything alone, and now we're in deep doo-doo. So let me know your thoughts here in the comments. I'll keep you up to date here with everything happening here in our country on a daily basis. Thank you so much for liking and sharing these videos. And if you haven't yet, click the subscribe button down below and the bell icon so you don't miss out on any new videos. It's completely free to do so. New videos come out here on our channel every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. North Korea says a nuclear attack would be justified. Here, click on this video, or click here to see what is happening at McDonald's. It's absolutely insane. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.